Now, if you're brand new, haven't even begun to homeschool, or have a young child, this program is perfect for you. Go ahead and participate. Living Waldorf at Home is designed to help you get that foundation in place and to help you get started on the right foot. Why waste time trying to figure it out by yourself? It's already all done for you. There's a myth out there that homeschooling moms should be able to just figure it all out. I mean, we do this in other ways, in other areas of our lives, right? Parenting, running a household, we just wing a lot of that. But I'm of the mind that you shouldn't just let your child's education be left up to chance. After I had the proper training, it made things so much easier, and things that I was doing that I thought were right, I had to tweak a little bit to make sure that I was on target. When my clients get a hold of this process, it's like a light bulb goes off in their heads. They're ready to step forward clear and confidently because I give them the exact step-by-step process that they need to be successful in homeschooling. And I'm going to show you how to do it too. One of the moms in my group, named Simi, was very unsure of the whole Waldorf approach. She said it felt very complicated and she didn't know if she could do it. After working through this exact system, she was more confident, she felt sure she could do it, and that made all the difference to her because she was so excited about bringing this approach to her children, but she just didn't have any idea how to do it. Now she does, and she's moving forward and with happy, successful homeschool. Shelley was another mom who had similar thoughts. She loved the idea of the holistic education, but just wasn't sure how to make it work for her in her home. And after going through this exact step-by-step process, she knew that this is exactly what she'd been looking for, and she had the tools to make it work. She also said she loved all the worksheets and templates that had her on track and focused exactly on each step as we went through it. I have moms from all over the world who participate in my programs. And that's why I decided to choose my very own home here, the beach seaside resort of Pawleys Island, for our live retreat. Now, traveling may seem like a bit of an investment, and I understand that. But I'm here to tell you that actually meeting up live in a group makes all the difference in the world. And I've heard that from so many of my clients. There's nothing like face-to-face contact and being in a room with other like-minded moms who are on the same path, the same journey, and who totally understand where you are is priceless. In fact, I have a friend who drives 10 hours every summer just to attend a homeschooling get-together, and she says she wouldn't miss it for the world. So you can see how face-to-face and being in the same place as a group of other like-minded moms can really make a difference. Bringing this type of environment and education to our children is really critical at this time of testing and Common Core standards, and you have a chance to make a real difference in your child's life. And I want to give you the chance to do it easier and simpler. Living Waldorf at Home is the plan that you need to feel this pulling inside of you that says, yes, I am meant to homeschool. I want to homeschool. I'm going to give you the tools and structure you need to make that happen with ease. I love teaching homeschooling families and empowering them to be able to teach their children with confidence and ease. And I also know how it feels to struggle to try to figure all this out by yourself and on your own. I spent so many hours researching and trying to make sure I was doing it right and wondering and worrying if I was doing it right. It's exhausting, and I don't want that for you. It wasn't until I found the process of living Waldorf at home that everything really just fell into place and became fun. After all, wasn't that why I was supposed to be doing this in the first place? Bringing joy and education to my children in a fun, easy way? It hadn't felt like that, but once I figured out my process, things transformed. So, how you get your hands on the Living Waldorf at Home process is to attend our weekend live retreat. On day one, we're going to talk about the unfolding of your child. The developmental stages and ages of your child makes all the difference. And Waldorf is meant to meet your child at their developmental stage. So it's very important that you understand about the 7-year cycles. It's a key piece to Waldorf. And if you don't understand the ideas and philosophy behind it, it's really hard to move forward. So I'm going to take you right through that step by step, give you some worksheets, everything right there so that you will understand. Have you ever heard a Waldorf teacher speak to their class, or maybe heard one speak on a workshop? There's something magical about the way they talk to the children. And I've seen this firsthand. They're like the Pied Piper. They speak and say, let's move over here in their own little way. And the children just follow them naturally. It's quite amazing. And I was amazed at first when I said to myself, how do they do this? Well, it's through something called communication, and I call it Waldorf Speak. And we're going to be going over that because I want you to be able to communicate with your child. You're at home with your child 24/7, and you need to be able to understand and be able to communicate in a way that's gentle, that's calm, and that they respond to, and that's respectful. And we'll talk about empathy and ways to bring that into your home that will work right away. We'll go through some empathy exercises where we can practice on each other. It'll be really fun. Next up, we'll be talking about your environment because that's really the hearth and home. It's where your child is every day, and we want to make sure that your environment is not cluttered and is simplified. And by that, we talk about simplifying schedules, simplifying the clutter around the house, the rooms, the toys. We'll be talking about all of that. We want to make a nourishing cocoon, if you will, for your child. And also, there's so much more energy in your home when it's not stacked with clothes and books and things everywhere. So we'll go through some great organizational tips on how to get your home simplified and to really make it a warm, cozy place that will nourish your child, especially during these early years. If you've heard me speak at all about homeschooling, you've surely heard me talk about rhythm. I am such an advocate for getting the rhythm to your day in place. So we will spend 2 full segments mapping out and talking about the 4 steps to rhythm for you. I wish I could just hand you a template and say, here's the rhythm, take it home. But it doesn't work that way because every household is different and every mom and dad and family dynamic is different, which means that your rhythm will be different too. And what I want the most for you is for you to create an ideal rhythm that works for you and your family. If you try to copy someone's over here, it never works. So I want you to leave with your rhythm all mapped out, and you will. We'll go through the daily and weekly rhythm. We'll talk back and forth in groups together, and we'll make sure that you do not leave our workshop without having your rhythm in place. That in itself is amazing because it's something that we need to do, but we don't have time to sit down and map out our rhythm. But we'll talk about it together in this group setting, and it'll make all the difference for you. It's one of the key ingredients. And when you have this in place, so many other things fall in place, like discipline and a feeling of calm and that you know what's happening in your day. On day 2, we're going to start off with something you may have heard of as inner work. I'm calling it self-care. And I want to bring practical, everyday ways that you can bring self-care into your home. Because again, you're there with your child 24/7, and it can be hard. And we need to be this role model. We need to be this teacher, this mentor. And how do we do that? How do we prepare ourselves for becoming this teacher and for being this beacon and model for our child? Well, a lot of it starts with self-care. You have to include yourself on the list of those that you're nourishing and taking care of. Think about a car. You have to refuel your car. You can't just take off and keep driving and driving and driving without putting more gas in. Eventually, you'll run out. And that's what happens to so many of us. We just collapse from exhaustion. And if we haven't put in ways or built in ways into our day to take a breath and take a moment, if we haven't put these things in place to recharge our own batteries, that's where you're going to end up. And I do not want that for you. We need to be strong. We need to be the one that's kind of steering the ship. And in order to do that, you've got to refuel your own tank so that you can be a better role model, a better wife, a better spouse, a better person. And I'll give you some concrete tips and ideas right there in our workshop that will help you. We'll have a really fun group activity where we can get together and compare our days and how we can put these self-care ideas in place. We're going to then go into imitation and purposeful work. Now that you're the role model and able to lead your child, then lead them. You will be. You will be doing the teaching. You will be doing the purposeful work that you want to inspire your child to participate in. What types of jobs your child can and cannot do, and tips for you to kind of keep the work around the house that may seem a little mundane as purposeful work. Then we're going to get into something which is really fun, and that's the creative expression and creative part of the whole thing. And that is what your child can do as far as the arts, the drawing and the storytelling and all of those beautiful things that you see about Waldorf. And finally, we'll finish up with materials. What do you need to get started? What are the actual things that you need to have in place? There are so many things out there you may see on blogs and websites, and it all looks great, but it could be really, really expensive. If you have to buy all this stuff, I'll give you my tried and true resources where you can purchase and what you really need that will last and that you'll get a lot of use out of. I'm not one that likes to buy a book that I can only use for a really short time. I like to use things that I can use for years and really makes a real bang for my buck. By the end of the weekend, you'll have your entire foundation in place because I'm giving you the process and we're going to go through it step by step. Just imagine how that would feel knowing that you are ready to go and have everything laid out. And you'll have one other thing you may not have thought about. Me. I'll be there to guide you, answer your questions, give you more tips, and check over everything that you're working on, face-to-face and one-on-one for the entire weekend. I bring my years of experience homeschooling with Waldorf, as well as my Simplicity Parenting training and my Peaceful Parenting training to you for the entire weekend. In just this one weekend, you'll make a massive leap forward in your homeschooling and Waldorf foundation. So let's just talk about the investment. You could get the same process from me and work with me in a one-on-one capacity where I'd go through everything that I'm going to go through during our Living Waldorf at Home weekend. And I highly recommend it if that's within your means. The investment for my one-on-one program is about $1,200, but the tuition for the Living Waldorf at Home program is much less. And I cover everything that I would cover in a one-to-one format, only we're doing it in a small group. And you've heard my perspective on group programs. I think they can't be beat because where else could you get the camaraderie and the support and the synergy of being together with a group of other moms just like you? I highly recommend that you attend the weekend retreat with a friend. Remember when I talked about having support in our training videos? I want you to leave the retreat having someone else you can go back with and be on the same page and support each other. So to help you with this, I'm gifting you a ticket for a friend to bring along to the retreat. So I want to be really clear when I say this. You get to bring a friend for free. Register now and you and a friend can attend the weekend. But like I said, this event is going to be intimate. So there's limited space. So if you know this is something you want, go ahead and register right now. As soon as you register, we'll be right in touch confirming your registration and letting you know how to get the free friend ticket. Major things we're going to talk about during our weekend event is rhythm. Again, I've said so many times how important it is. So as a bonus, I'm including my Path to Rhythm home study program for free when you register for the Living Waldorf at Home retreat. How's that sound? You'll also get a list of my favorite books and resources for your age child. Everyone who attends will also get a copy of my brand new book, The Waldorf Homeschool Handbook. I want you to have as many tools and resources as possible, and you'll receive your book on day one of the event. The total value for this package is over $1,400, but you can get it for only $147, a fraction of what it's really worth. And it'll be the best investment you ever make in yourself and in your homeschool. You couldn't even hire a consultant for that much, and you're going to get an entire weekend full of training, mentoring, and support. So stop struggling, start learning. Join me in Pawleys Island on July 18th to the 20th. I guarantee you'll have an amazing time, and if you're not fully satisfied with our training, you'll get my full money-back guarantee. Check below for all the details, and if you have any questions about registration, you can click the email and we'll respond right away. I hope to see you in July at Living Waldorf at Home.